Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hot Drop Podcast with myself, Jason Kaplan, and MAXMAN. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the power rankings now that the dust has settled from the PUBG Mobile World Cup 2024. We're going to take a look today at the teams who have made a push up in the rankings. We're going to start things off by taking a look at IHC. If you guys have been watching PMSL CSA, you have noticed that IHC are no longer the killers that they once were back at PMGC 2023. But luckily for them, they did manage to finish 11th place at the World Cup, and because they have played in every single global international event that has happened so far, they're currently sitting in second place, moving up by one rank. However, looking towards the future, one thing that does worry me about this roster is that they need to requalify for PMGC and they need to perform again, or other teams, quite a few of them, who are on the brink of surpassing them and on the brink of playing in every single national event within our time frame, means they could be surpassed quite heavily. So we'll see if IHC can keep this pace up and hopefully for them bounce back at PMGC.
Well, if we're going to be talking about teams that we want to see do well in PMGC here, Jason, we need to bring up Reject, which has been clearly the talk of the town when it comes to 2024. Winning PMGO at the start of the year in Brazil, getting second place in PMWC for the main event this year. Also, this team has been dominating the global stage, and not only because they have amazing teamwork and rotations in their respective games, because they are backed by one of the best, if not the best, global fragger currently when it comes to global events, and that is Regio being the back-to-back MVP of PMGO and PMW. I do believe if they qualify to PMGC, they'll overtake IHC in second place, and who knows, maybe they can close that gap with Alpha 7 in first place.
Now, one of the biggest surprises when it comes to teams of this year, for me, it has to be Twisted Minds Brazil, or previously known as Death Wolves, back when they're playing at PMGO. So, I mean, they finished 14th place at PMGO, they finished 13th place here at PMWC, and they have shot up the rankings by 32 placings up into 22nd place, and they've only done it with just 2 events. They didn't even participate in PMGC this last year. I have very high expectations for this team as we move forward into the second half of the year, and honestly, with the experience they've now gotten in the most competitive event to date here at PMWC, I think they have a chance to easily make a run in for a much higher place, and obviously a much higher place in the power rankings.
And for the last 2 teams I want to bring up this podcast, I want to talk about IWNRX and also IWNRX, which are 2 teams that, weirdly enough, have a very similar storyline when it came to playing in PMWC, which was not being able to bring your initial success of the survival stage or the league stage into the finals. For me, this shows that these are teams that have a lot of potential for possible future global events they'll participate into, but we just need to see a little bit more adaptability when it comes to gameplay styles, because what happens to work in the league stage might not always work in the finals of a tournament, though there was still at least some success out of PMWC for them, because they were able to go from 18th position to 10th position for IWNRX, and from 22nd position to 11th position for IWNRX. So hopefully they can get even higher on the rankings in the end of 2024.
Thank you so much, MAXMAN, for helping contribute into our discussion about how the power rankings have shifted up here in this last event. But we've been all nice, we've been all happy about how things have worked out for these teams. But on our next episode here of the Hot Drop Podcast, I am ready to get down and gritty here with some of these teams and really start to hammer about how far they have fallen. So that's going to have to wait until next time here for some more PUBG Mobile action.